Despite their celebrity, beauty, and respect as country music singers, their private lives undermine their public character. Here are 15 country music divas who have had affairs with several guys in their lives. Number 1 is someone you would never have suspected. Number 15, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton's sexual life has been as intriguing as her iconic profession. However, she has always kept her personal life strictly private. Her primary and longest-lasting relationship is with Carl Thomas Dean, whom she met on May 30th, 1964, outside a Nashville laundromat. While Dolly and Carl's marriage has survived over 5 decades, it has been fraught with conjecture. Tabloids have long speculated that Parton had other intimate relationships, although she has rarely addressed them explicitly. One recurrent rumor links her to Porter Wagner, her longtime musical collaborator. Their undeniable on-screen chemistry fueled rumors. Kenny Rogers was also rumored to be Dolly Parton's partner. Dolly and Kenny's duets, particularly Islands in the Stream, demonstrated a lighthearted, passionate bond that audiences adored. Dolly experienced a serious personal crisis in the early 1980s, involving an emotional attachment that she had never completely disclosed. She has confessed in interviews that she once had a strong bond to someone outside of her marriage, which resulted in depression and even suicide thoughts. In her memoir, Dolly, My Life, and Other Unfinished Business, she described it as a love affair. Despite these allegations, Dolly has always stated her devotion to Carl Dean. Number 13, Lorie Morgan. Lorie Morgan, one of the most well-known female voices in country music, has had a personal life as dramatic and heartbreaking as the ballads she performs. Her path through 6 marriages and several famous loves portrays a life full of passion, heartbreak, and fortitude. Lorie married Ron Gaddis, George Jones's bassist, when she was just 20 years old. Their relationship was brief, but it resulted in her first child, Morgan Anastasia Gaddis, born in 1980. The stress of touring combined with the duties of young fatherhood were too much, and the couple split shortly after. Lorie married country singer Keith Whitley in 1986, and his beautiful voice and burgeoning career helped him become one of Nashville's brightest lights. Their love story was passionate and widely adored, but it was sadly cut short. Whitley's chronic drinking hampered their marriage, but Lorie remained unwaveringly supportive. On May 9th, 1989, Keith died of alcohol intoxication at the age of 33. Lorie was left widowed with her newborn son, Jesse Keith Whitley. 2 years later, she married Brad Thompson, Clint Black's former bus driver. While Thompson provided stability, their relationship lacked the chemistry and connection Lorie desired. The marriage dissolved discreetly after 2 years, with both parties going on amicably. Lorie dated people from the United States in the mid-1990s. Senator and actor Fred Thompson. The relationship garnered national attention, and while they never married, the romance was extensively reported in the press, with Lorie appearing with him at political events. In 1996, she married singer-songwriter John Randall, who is well known in both country and bluegrass communities. The marriage began as a creative cooperation, but ended 3 years later with divorce. Lorie's 6th marriage was to Sammy Kershaw, a fellow country singer. This was possibly her most ferocious marriage, marked by public fights, strong desire, and several separations before their final divorce in 2007. Lorie married Randy White, a businessman, on the beach in Destin, Florida, in September 2010. This marriage was a turning point for her, providing her with stability, companionship, and a more peaceful home life. They remained together until Randy died in 2025, making this her longest marriage. Number 13, Jana Kramer. Jana Kramer, best known for her part in One Tree Hill and her successful country music career, has led a romantic life marked by intense highs, agonizing heartbreaks, and public admissions. Jana's first marriage was to Michael Gambino when she was only 20 years old. It was a sad and brief chapter. Gambino was eventually convicted of attempted murder following a brutal attack on Jana, and she has spoken out about the torture she received. The marriage ended fast, but the emotional scars remained. After her acting career took off, Jana met country artist Brantley Gilbert at the CMT Music Awards in 2012. Their romance grew swiftly, and by January 2013, they were engaged. However, the engagement concluded in August 2013. Between those years, Jana had a brief marriage to actor Jonathan Schaich in July 2010. The couple notoriously split up after only approximately a month of marriage. After her third marriage ended, Jana briefly dated former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler in late 2021. Their romance was brief but well reported in the media. Around this time, she was also linked to fitness trainer Ian Shinelli, but their relationship ended in public accusations and arguments. Her marriage to former NFL player Mike Cawson was probably the most well-publicized of her relationships. They married in May 2015, following a brief romance. Cawson entered rehab for sex addiction a few months later, and their relationship devolved into a public battle over trust, infidelity, and frequent separation. The marriage ended in divorce in July 2021. In 2024, Jana married Scottish former soccer player Alan Russell in a small wedding. The relationship, which started in 2003, was a new beginning for her. Alan has been openly supportive of Jana's children and work, providing stability she claims she has never had before. Number 12, Shania Twain. Shania Twain's love life has been as tumultuous as her musical career. On December 28, 1993, she married Robert John Lang, a South African-born producer. Lang helped shape her sound by producing her breakout album, The Woman in Me, and its follow-up, Come On Over, which became the best-selling country record of all time. They were a force to be reckoned with, both professionally and emotionally, spending their time between Switzerland and the United States, while keeping their marriage mostly hidden. The turning moment came in May 2008, when Twain and Lang announced their split. The initial public explanation was that the marriage had terminated, but it quickly became clear that Lang was having an affair with Marie-Anne Thibault, Twain's Swiss secretary and close friend. The betrayal was terrible. Twain subsequently said that she confided in Marie-Anne about marital troubles, unknowing that she was speaking to the person connected with her husband. The emotional consequences was severe. Twain recalled falling into a deep despair, losing her voice owing to dysphonia, and feeling physically and emotionally incapable of performing. In later interviews, she explained that the mixture of sadness and treachery had left her alone, especially since she had moved to Switzerland for solitude and had established a life there. Ironically, the route to healing began with Frederick Thibault, Marie-Anne's then-husband, and another victim of the same betrayal. The two bonded over their common suffering, supporting each other during their divorces. Friendship blossomed into romance, and by December 2010, they were engaged. Twain formally announced the engagement on her website, describing Frederick as a great friend and a true gentleman. Shania Twain married Frederick Thibault on January 1, 2011 in Rincon, Puerto Rico, in an intimate beach ceremony attended by approximately 40 guests. The wedding represented not only a new beginning in love, but also a return to self-esteem and joy after years of emotional suffering. She credits Frederick with helping her regain stability and trust, and she describes their relationship as quite helpful. From this point forward, Twain portrayed the story as one of overcoming personal devastation rather than defeat. In the years since, Twain and Frederick have appeared together at public occasions, with Twain repeatedly stating that their connection is based on friendship and shared principles. They have homes in Switzerland and Las Vegas, and Frederick frequently joins her on tours. Today, their marriage exemplifies how even the most prominent betrayals may result in unexpectedly beautiful endings. Tammy Wynette, number 11. Tammy Wynette, dubbed the First Lady of Country Music, had a love life as dramatic as the sorrowful ballads she performed. Tammy was often in the news due to her several marriages, high-profile relationships, and emotional turmoil. Tammy's first marriage was to Eupla Bird in 1960, when she was only 17. Bird, who was 5 years her senior, did not support her musical ambitions. The marriage was strained by financial difficulties and Tammy's growing desire to pursue a singing career. The couple split in 1966, and Tammy moved to Nashville to pursue her passion. Her second marriage happened a year later to songwriter Don Chappelle. At first, it appeared to be a good fit based on common musical ambitions, but the relationship quickly soured. Their union dissolved in 1968 under scandalous circumstances. Tammy later met fellow country star George Jones, who was already an icon. Tammy married George Jones in February 1969, forming one of country music's most well-known power couples. Their duets, such as Golden Ring, reflected their passionate yet tumultuous romance. Unfortunately, Jones's drunkenness and repeated public clashes ruined the marriage. Tammy filed for divorce in 1973, and the split was finalized in 1975. Tammy and Michael Tomlin, a real estate executive, married in 1976. This union was startlingly brief, lasting only 44 days, making it one of her shortest marriages. According to friends, Tammy married on a whim, and the romance ended almost as fast as it began. Later that year, she married George Ritchie, a songwriter and longtime business manager. This marriage lasted till her death in 1998. Rumors of extramarital affairs peppered Tammy's life. Some Nashville insiders whispered in the early 1970s about her brief relationship with a well-known record producer. There were also persistent rumors that during her rocky marriage to George Jones, she had an emotional relationship with a touring musician who consoled her during Jones's most severe drinking bouts. Tammy Wynette's romantic life was a tornado of intensity, reflecting the themes of her music. Number 10. LeAnn Rimes. LeAnn Rimes, a country music artist, had her most scrutinized romance while still married to dancer and choreographer Dean Shermitt. They married in February 2002, after meeting at the 2001 ACM Awards. Rimes appeared in the Lifetime film Northern Lights in 2008, opposite Eddie Cibrian. Working together that year provided the framework for a romance that was made public in March 2009, when entertainment sites revealed an extramarital affair. At the time, Rimes and Cibrian were married. Randy was also married to Brandi Glanville, a model and television personality. Rimes first denied being in a relationship with Cibrian, but later confessed it. She split from Shermitt in July 2009, while Cibrian filed for divorce from Glanville on August 24, 2009, citing irreconcilable differences. That summer, the pair cohabited, demonstrating their dedication in the face of tabloid and social media criticism. Rimes and Cibrian announced their engagement in December 2010, and on April 22, 2011, they married in a small California ceremony with approximately 40 guests, including his sons Mason and Jake from his previous marriage to Glanville. What began as a business connection and tabloid storyline evolved into household normalcy over the next few years. The move from acrimony to civility served to lower the tabloid temperature and recast the pair in the press as a long-term relationship rather than a constant scandal. Number 9. Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter, established her reputation through honest songs about love, betrayal, and female tenacity. Much of her candor stemmed from her own chaotic sexual life, which concentrated almost completely around her one long, problematic marriage to Oliver Doolittle Lynn, as well as rumors of other entanglements that persisted throughout her career. Loretta married Doolittle Lynn in January 1948, when she was only 15, and he was 21 years old. The marriage followed a quick one-month courtship. Throughout their nearly 50-year marriage, Doolittle was said to have had numerous affairs. Loretta admitted that she was aware of his infidelity at times, but opted to stay because of their children and the profound, difficult bond they shared. She described Doolittle as both the love of her life and the cause of much of her heartbreak. As Loretta's career developed, there were rumors in Nashville that she had at least one emotional romance with a fellow country musician during her estrangement from Doolittle. These assertions were never confirmed. But she did speak of seeking solace and company outside of her marriage during its most difficult times. While touring extensively in the mid-1970s, she formed close ties with several male musicians. According to some insiders, at least one of these friendships evolved into a love relationship after a lengthy separation from her spouse. Loretta never officially recognized such a connection, but the emotional rawness of her music during that period fueled suspicion. Number 8. Reba McEntire. Reba McEntire's romantic life has been entwined with her decades-long country music career, which has included both long-term relationships and unexpected turns. Her first marriage was to Charlie Battles, a former steer wrestling champion and rancher, in 1976. Battles was older and had 2 children from a previous marriage, so McEntire, an aspiring country performer from Oklahoma, accepted the role of stepmother. They lived on an Oklahoma ranch where Reba blended her music career with a rural lifestyle. During this period, McEntire's career took off. She signed with Mercury Records in the mid-1970s and achieved her first Billboard country chart success in 1976. However, as her fame expanded, tensions developed. Reba was spending more time on the road, whereas Battles wished she stay closer to home. Their opposing visions for the future, combined with the pressures of her advancing career, created conflict. After 11 years of marriage, McEntire filed for divorce. She later acknowledged in interviews that she thought she had outgrown the relationship and desired greater independence. A few years later, she met and married Narvel Blackstock, her steel guitarist and manager. This marriage became crucial to both her personal and professional lives. Narvel was both her love and business partner. Together, they founded Starstruck Entertainment, which handled her career and developed her brand into television, acting, and merchandise. The couple raised a blended family that included Reba's son, Shelby Blackstock, Narvel's 3 children from a previous marriage, and several grandkids. For over 26 years, McEntire and Blackstock appeared to be one of country music's most dependable couples. The couple announced their separation in August 2015, and their divorce was finalized in December of the same year. Reba subsequently admitted that the divorce was not her idea and that it had badly affected her. Following her divorce, McEntire startled fans in early 2017 by revealing she was dating Anthony Skeeter Lasuso, a retired oil geologist and wildlife photographer whom she met through friends. The two had traveled extensively and shared a love of the outdoors. They appeared together at a number of occasions. However, by late 2019, McEntire said that they had parted amicably due to clashing schedules and lifestyles. Number 7. Patricia Lee Ramey was born in Pikeville, Kentucky, and began her musical career by singing with her siblings before moving to Nashville. At 19, she married her first husband, Terry Loveless, the Wilburn Brothers drummer. The couple married in 1973, and she used the stage name Patty Lovelace, which was an intentional spelling alteration from Lovelace to distinguish herself from adult film actress Linda Lovelace. The stresses of job advancement and touring affected their relationship, and they separated in 1986. After returning to Nashville and restarting her career, Patty reconnected with Emory Gordy Jr., an experienced musician and producer. They married in February 1989, but the union remained private for a while before becoming public. This long-term marriage provided a contrast to her previous, shorter-lived union. In a 2024 Woman's World interview, Patty spoke on their time apart while touring and the great memories they now enjoy together. Her love story has been as complex and emotionally charged as the poignant words she has sung for decades. Terry's first great love was Ted Stevenson, a superb fiddler whose life revolved around music. Terry was still chasing her big break in country music when the couple married in 1991. Their son Noah was born in 1993. However, the pressures of her budding career and the realities of life on the road strained their relationship. By 1996, Terry's marriage had collapsed, leaving her to navigate single parenthood. Years later, love returned, this time in the person of Greg Kazor, her long-term tour manager. Their connection developed spontaneously as a result of the many days and nights spent working side by side on the road. In September 2005, the two's marriage came tumbling down. In February 2007, the couple filed for divorce. In a melancholy twist, Danielle, their daughter, was born in May of the same year. Terry accepted motherhood for the second time, even as she concluded another chapter in her romantic life. Terry has kept her other relationships covert after her 2 marriages ended. She's committed to raising her children, furthering her career, and keeping a strong connection with her followers. Chely Wright's romantic life has been as daring and transformational as her career in country music. But much of her life took place behind closed doors. Rochelle Renee Wright was born in Kansas and raised in a conservative household where being openly gay felt unattainable. Her relationships were influenced from the start by her need to keep her true self disguised. Chely was in at least 2 important same-sex relationships before coming out publicly in 2010. These were not casual flings, but profound emotional relationships built in the shadows of a world that wasn't yet ready to accept her. In her memoir, Like Me, Confessions of a Heartland Country Singer, Chely revealed how these covert relationships influenced her life. She also revealed that she had a brief love involvement with fellow country artist Brad Paisley, which she sought in part because she thought it would help her appear straight to the public and possibly convince herself she could live that life. But it did not happen. When Chely officially came out in May 2010, she became the first big country music performer to openly identify as gay. This announcement represented both personal liberty and a professional gamble. Despite this, her life took a positive turn in 2011 when she met music executive Lauren Blitzer. The two bonded over common beliefs and a shared knowledge of the difficulties LGBTQ+ people endure in the public glare. Their romance developed swiftly, and on August 20th, 2011, they married in a private ceremony attended by a reverend and a rabbi. Chely and Lauren gave birth to identical twin sons, George Samuel and Everett Joseph, in 2013. Chely Wright's relationship history, which ranges from covert romances to an open, devoted marriage, provides a story of courage and eventual triumph in living one's truth without compromise. Tanya Tucker's romantic life has been as daring, unexpected, and unrepentant as her musical career. Although she never married, she was engaged multiple times and had a series of high-profile relationships that kept her name in the gossip pages for decades. Her most well-known, and definitely stormy, romance was with Glenn Campbell. Their relationship was characterized by intense passion and public drama. Campbell was 22 years her senior and a star in his own right. They collaborated on duets, performed on stage, and had heated disputes in public. Tanya was just in her early 20s at the time, and their passionate love affair burned brightly. They were engaged at one point, but the wedding never occurred. Their breakup was messy and public, leaving an indelible imprint on both of their personal lives. After Campbell, Tanya was associated to a number of high-profile men, many of whom worked in the music and entertainment industries. She dated actor Don Johnson briefly in the 1980s, a match that drew attention given his Hollywood heartthrob status during the height of Miami Vice. She was also said to have been romantically involved with country artists Merle Haggard and Andy Gibb. Tanya's love life took another dramatic turn when she became engaged to songwriter Jerry Lasseter in the late 1990s. The two had an on-and-off relationship for years, raising 2 children, Presley Tanita and Bo Grayson Tucker. Tanya once said that she canceled their wedding the night before because she did not want to walk down the aisle while pregnant. Despite their breakups, Tanya and Lasseter remained close through co-parenting and a common past. In addition to these engagements and partnerships, Tanya was romantically involved with rodeo cowboy Ben Reed, with whom she had her first daughter, Presley. Reed went on to have a great acting career, but his relationship with Tanya remains part of her personal tale. Tanya Tucker never lost her sense of self. She has frequently stated that she chose to live her life without the formal trappings of marriage, appreciating her independence and flexibility to leave when things didn't seem right. Number 3. Miranda Lambert. Miranda Lambert's romantic life resembles an emotional roller coaster. Miranda began her first serious relationship at the age of 18 with musician Jeff Allen McManus, who was a few years older than her. Their intimate bond came to an end around the time Miranda met her future, which marked a watershed moment in her personal and professional life. Miranda and Blake Shelton fell in love in 2005, despite the fact that they were both in past relationships. She was still with McManus, while he was with his then-wife. Following their respective separations, they began dating in 2006, became engaged in 2010, and married in 2011. Their 2015 divorce was as unexpected as their whirlwind courtship. Miranda sought refuge in a new affair with R&B artist Anderson East, whom she met at Nashville's Live on the Green Festival in September 2015. Their connection was both tender and inspirational. Their 2-year romance, which was very significant, terminated in early 2018. Miranda's next romance was brief but intense. In February 2018, she began seeing Evan Felker, the Turnpike Troubadours frontman. The romance instantly sparked controversy. Felker was still legally married when their relationship was initially revealed, sparking media interest and conjecture. The relationship terminated in August 2018 due to claimed boundary disputes. Then love appeared in unexpected places. Miranda startled fans in 2020 when she revealed she had secretly married Brendan McLaughlin, an NYPD cop she met in November 2018 while he was working security for Good Morning America. Their love story was refreshing and outside of the spotlight. Miranda has since described free communication and mutual respect as the foundation of their relationship. Miranda Lambert's romantic story, from youthful love to celebrity marriage, has been one of endurance and progress. Number 2. Trisha Yearwood. Trisha Yearwood's personal life, like her music, has been formed by intense emotion, tenacity, and the will to follow her heart. Before becoming famous, Trisha married Christopher Latham, her high school sweetheart from Monticello, Georgia. They married in 1987, when Trisha was still discovering her position in the music industry. The marriage, however, struggled under the weight of youthful ambition and long separations. In 1991, the couple divorced. Trisha married her second husband, Robert Reynolds, in 1994. Their wedding was a big deal in Nashville's country circles, and their relationship appeared to be going well for a while. However, behind the scenes, the pressures of 2 rigorous jobs, mixed with deepening personal disagreements, caused their breakup in 1999. Between her second and third marriages, Trisha was linked to a few rumored relationships, but she kept her personal life quiet. The most significant chapter in her love life happened long before they got romantically involved. Trisha has known Garth Brooks since the late 1980s, when both were emerging performers. Their bond became stronger over time, even when they married different people. When both were single again in the early 2000s, romance bloomed. By the time Garth proposed in front of 7,000 fans at a California concert in May 2005, their love story felt like a dream come true. They married later that year in a tiny private ceremony at their Oklahoma home. Today, Trisha attributes her long-term relationship with Garth to their close friendship, mutual respect, and shared beliefs. Number 1. Carrie Underwood. Carrie Underwood, the superstar country singer who rose to prominence after winning American Idol in 2005, has handled her romantic life with extraordinary delicacy and complexity. Carrie's first romantic relationship was with a college lover, a skater she met when she was around 14. It was her first kiss in grief, and it taught her the terrible lesson that love is not always returned. Carrie began dating Drake Clark while attending Northeastern State University. This undergraduate romance lasted nearly 3 years and ended just as her life was being defined by her success on American Idol. As her reputation grew, Carrie was briefly romantically linked to Tony Romo in early 2007, but the relationship ended. Almost immediately after, Carrie was linked to Gossip Girl star Chase Crawford. Their brief engagement, which lasted about 6 months, created media buzz, but it did not work. In 2008, rumors circulated about a brief romance with Dr. Travis Stork. Though never officially acknowledged, rumors circulated that they had a brief romance before hastily moving on. Everything changed when Carrie met Canadian NHL player Mike Fisher backstage at one of her shows in late 2008. The connection was instant, and despite the challenges of long-distance dating, their relationship flourished. They became engaged in December 2009 and married in a stunning wedding at the Ritz-Carlton in Georgia. Their marriage is characterized by mutual support and shared beliefs. Following multiple miscarriages, the couple welcomed 2 boys, Isaiah and Jacob. Despite the ups and downs, Carrie eventually found love. What have you learned from these country music divas? Please share in the comments and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Before you leave, click the like button and check out the other videos here.